Hello and welcome. My name is David Baker, and I have the privilege to get to work with Mr. John Jubilee and to be the National Director. In a minute, you're going to get to hear from him talk about the John Jubilee Transformation Experience. Give you a little testimony of how I got onto this. I've been a pastor for 27 years. After I got out of the military, I became a preacher, and I said, I am not going to be a fat preacher. Because in high school, my pastor was over 400 pounds. At Bible college, he was over a different guy, over 300 pounds. The guys were great for preaching on drunkenness, but in the exact same verse, literally, is gluttony. They would never preach on that. And so when I became a preacher, I said, I'm not going to be a fat preacher. And so trying to work out and exercise and not gain weight. I messed my knee up sledding with my children. I've got 11 children and wrapped it around a tree. Wasn't able to run anymore. And with age and not exercising, I gained a bunch of weight. And so I had tried to lose it. I did Lean for Life, Atkins, South Beach, P90X. I did one called Holly Acres, raw fruits and vegetables, juice carrots, juice greens for almost a year. And it felt horrible. Didn't have any energy, and I didn't know why. After being in John's program, I know now why. No matter how healthy you're eating, if the cells aren't absorbing it, it doesn't matter. And mine were not. And so I was going to try again, not going to give up. And 2 years ago this month, I heard John on the radio for 5 minutes. Heard him talk about the cellular health and no running, and because I couldn't run anymore, and no starving, eat all the time, and da-da-da-da. And okay, that sounds too good to be true, but I'm going to check into it. End up signing up and loved it. Amazing. Lost over 50 pounds of fat. I can run on my knee again. You don't have to run in the program, but I can run on my knee again. I'm 48. I just did my first triathlon when I got done with the program, and it's been great. Love it. Energy back. Shot through the roof. And now I get to help work with John. I'm still a pastor, but I get to help work with John and help other people to have a transformation. I said years ago as a preacher that if I did not know for sure God wanted me to do that, I would help people with their health, because so many people can't take care of their families. They can't serve the Lord. They can't do what they want to do because their health is such a mess. And so you're going to hear something in a minute that can literally change your life and change your health. So I'm going to introduce John, and we are glad to have Mr. John Jubilee.
Well, thank you. And I am so excited to be here with you through the magic of technology. It is just astonishing to me. I just feel like a little kid at Disney World that we can literally log onto a computer or a laptop or an iPad or a phone device, and we can talk like this. I mean, it's amazing. It's like being omnipresent. Get to show up everywhere. So, but it's the joy of my life to get to share with you a transformation. The reason is because, every diet, here's what I learned. Here's what I learned, friends. Every diet works for a minute. They all work for a minute. The only problem is life is a lot longer than a minute, right? And I was so frustrated. I gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight. And I didn't realize that every time I lost weight, I was losing water. Come on, we all know that's true, right? So I was losing water, and unfortunately, I was also losing muscle. So we lose our muscle, something really horrific happens. We weigh less, and we look worse. We're like olive oil, and we definitely don't want that to be happening, right? So out of all that frustration, of that experience happening to me over and over again, I finally decided that, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was virtually bone on bone in both my knees. I had the Rice Krispies syndrome. I snapped, crackled, and popped when I walked. Not a good thing when they can hear you coming down the hall. I looked like I swallowed a truck tire with my shirt off. And I know that because you know what I did? I took my shirt off, took a picture of myself. This was 18 years ago, back when you actually had to go and get your film developed. And so I went and got a picture developed, and lo and behold, I'm looking at it thinking, I need my picture. And the guy said, hey, brother, don't shoot the messenger. That really is you. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, wow. So bad news is I looked like I swallowed a truck tire. I had man boobs. I had high cholesterol, high blood pressure, hypertension, arthritis, all these issues. But I started researching. And man, listen, God gives everybody gifts. Some people can cook. Some people can fix cars. Some people can sing. Some people could play a piano. God gave me a gift that, pretty much if I read a page of an encyclopedia, and I could quote that page, the next day in one of my classes. When I was in algebra class, I could look at an algebraic equation and just solve it. So I skipped all the steps. So literally, I would just go to the bottom line. And so I'm a simplifier of complex things. I share that with you because that gift is for you. Because when I went and studied thousands of pages of science, thousands of pages, guess what? I was able to simplify of what works scientifically in the human body when it comes to health and wellness. So I came up with 10 simple technologies. And when I did these 10 things for 88 days, and 88 days is a very scientific number. And the reason is because your cells literally transform synergistically and anatomically. That's the natural cycle of a cell, is 88 days to transformation. And it's either going to transform good, bad, or the same. So that's why it was 88 days. Well, 88 days later, I couldn't believe how much better I felt, and an incredible side effect, how much better I looked. So that's why I teach every diet works for a minute, but life is longer than a minute. And that weight loss is a myth. The reason is because when you lose that water, you're less healthy. Hey, if you want to just lose water weight, then I recommend the sauna Twinkie diet. You know what that is? You grab a box of Twinkies, you go in the sauna. Sit in there for 2 hours. Eat the whole box of Twinkies. Come out, you'll be 10 pounds lighter. You'll be less healthy, but at least you got to eat some Twinkies. That's how silly weight loss is. That's why I say weight loss is a myth. But transformation is real. Because if you would be willing to commit yourself to do 10 simple things, 10 simple technologies, the same ones I did 18 years ago, and in 18 years I haven't gained back 1 pound of fat and I haven't lost 1 ounce of muscle, because I gained lean, healthy muscle. I gained healthy hydration. I lost 10 inches in my waist. Come on, guys, how would you like to lose 10 inches in your waist? I hope you don't have 10 to lose. Because, by the way, transformation is not just about, it's definitely not about just looking better. It's about being better from the inside out, about being healthy at a cellular level, being the best you from the inside out. When you get healthy at a cellular level, you feel better. Your high blood pressure, they say, goes away. Your high cholesterol goes away. Your arthritis goes away. Your diabetes goes away. Listen, I make no claims, but you can watch hundreds and thousands of testimonies of real people just like you and me. They all have the same story. They all will say, yeah, I lost all the fat, I gained healthy muscle, but the biggest thing they'll tell you is their energy level went through the roof and their health went through the roof, and they got off of all their medications. Hey, there's a gentleman right there. He's on your website. You can look at 67 years old, lost 175 pounds of fat. Not 175 pounds. He didn't lose 1 ounce of muscle. He gained muscle. He didn't lose 1 drop of water. He gained healthy hydration. But he lost a person 175 pounds of fat, documented by 2 doctors. He went from a 56-inch waist to a 32-inch waist in 88 days and 8 weeks, in just 5 months. That is more fat loss than anyone in the 15-year history of The Biggest Loser. And skin tight as a drum. No sagging skin. When you get healthy from the inside out, your body, literally, your skin is designed. It's designed with great elasticity. It's just like shrink wrap. And no matter how much fat you lose, when you lose it the right way and you only lose fat and you lose no muscle and no hydration, your skin is not going to sag. You will have 0 sagging skin. 0. Now just picture 2 people, 175 pounds apiece, in the same body, and one of them leaves. And the person has tight skin. Hey, that's what literally happened to Michael Stone at 67 years old. And oh, by the way, he came off of 10 medications, 10. Changed his life. And listen, I could sit here and tell you literally 17,000 stories, but I'll just share a few with you because I want you to be the best you can be. I want you to have this experience that I have had, and then I've been able to help hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, thousands of other people to have the same experience. And you may be asking, well, John, where did you come? Well, I came up with this out of my own pain. I came up with it out of my own pain. And from doing all that research and then experiencing this myself 18 years ago. And I did not have any background in medicine or nutrition. I became a cellular health scientist when I studied for 10 years and spent 6 hours a day for 10 years helping real people in the laboratory of real life to get healthy at a cellular level for free. Now, you can't have a more pure heart than that, right? When you're helping people for free to get healthy, to get off their medication, to get rid of fat, do you know that just 20 pounds of fat on the human body puts 100 pounds of pressure on your joints? Why do you think all of a sudden we have all of these knee replacements and hip replacements? It's because of years of carrying extra weight. Literally 67 to 70%, that's 7 out of 10 of us are 30 pounds or more overweight. That means the average person is like carrying 150 pounds, like 10 bowling balls extra every day, strain on the joint. That is devastating to the human body. And the reason you don't see any anti-smoking commercials anymore is because fat is what kills us faster than smoking. Fat does. So they don't worry about smoking anymore. They know it's the fat that's killing people. Just 20 pounds of extra fat literally will kill you faster than smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day. That's 2 scientific studies that were just done in the last 5 years that documented that. Do you know that literally if you would go and read the Healthcare Act that was passed, it is on the books in America, the law. You are legally allowed to discriminate against a fat person in the workplace. You can fire them or not hire them just because they're overweight. And they're going to cost your company money for more insurance because they're overweight. That is a federal law in the United States of America. It is with a wink called the fat tax, the fat tax. But the reason they implemented that was because of these 2 scientific studies that showed how dangerous and expensive just 20 extra pounds of fat is on a human body. So look, I got great news for you. It doesn't matter if you have no weight to lose, but you just need better energy and better health. Transformation will help you get where you need to be. But if you're a person that you have 20 pounds of fat to lose, 40 pounds of fat, 60 pounds of fat, you can get rid of that fat and get your real life back. And you can get rid of that fat with skin tight as a drum. Your skin will tighten up like shrink wrap. That's what happens to everybody, thousands of people at any age. We got a gal in her 70s, lost over 100 pounds of fat. Her skin is tight as could be. So it doesn't matter how old you are, how much fat you have to lose. When you lose it the right way in transformation, you don't have to worry about that. And let me give you a little science lesson on the human body. 5 pounds of muscle, and you will gain 5 pounds of muscle. 5 pounds of muscle on the human body will burn 50 pounds of fat every single year for the rest of your life for free. Now, how come no one ever talks about that? And muscle is so dense. 5 pounds of muscle is only 1 inch. So just picture a tiny little 1/4 of an inch on each arm and a 1/4 of an inch on each leg. That's 5 pounds of muscle. But no matter what you do, that all by itself, just gaining 5 lean, healthy pounds of muscle, eat 50 pounds of fat every year for the rest of your life. Now you say, John, that sounds too good to be true. Hey, welcome to my world. Listen, I'm a pure scientist. I don't care what the truth is. I just want to know what the truth is. I want to share the truth with you so you can be the best you that you can possibly be. So I got great news for you. Guess what? I gained that muscle, and what it does is it increases your metabolism. Your metabolism goes up. Ladies, don't you know that every man loses fat faster than women? That's true, right? Well, guess why? They have more muscle. Muscle eats fat. More muscle you have, faster you burn your fat. Now, ladies, you'll still lose just as much fat as any man could lose, but you know what? It will literally take you about twice as long as it will for a man because you have half as much muscle as a man. But the great news is everyone's going to gain some extra muscle. And that lean, healthy muscle also creates positive chemical reactions in your body, extra serotonin and dopamine and adiponectin, all these great, you've got 30,000 chemicals in your body. Any of you ladies out there dealing with hormone issues, hey, I got great news for you. Your body's designed in a specific way, and when you have cellular health and your cells are functioning properly, your organs are functioning properly, your hormones will naturally balance out. You can be your real self again. One guy called me on the phone. He goes, John Jubilee, I had to call and thank you. There's a woman running around my house. I haven't seen her in 25 years. She's joyful. She's energetic. She's got her feisty personality back. He said, thank you so much. So it is truly the joy of my life to get to share with you something that's simple, it's scientific, it's safe, and it's sustainable. You can do this for the rest of your life. Hey, Dr. Ron Durr, an orthopedic surgeon from Vanderbilt, he literally calls himself, now I respect him too much to call him this, but he calls himself one of John's guppies. He said, I'm one of John's guppies. It was one of his first transformers ever. And this is back when I was just helping everybody that wanted help. But he went to his high school reunion at his high school weight. High school reunion at his high school weight. He said, I got news for you, John. I think I'm the only person that was at my high school weight at that reunion. Hey, and he's never gained back a pound in 18 years. He looks amazing. And guess what? He's helped many, many, many other people to enter into the transformation program to get optimal health at a cellular level. And I want to encourage you, hey, this is 2016. How long are you going to wait? You know what? You have to do something different to have something different. If you're like me, you already tried everything else, right? I had tried everything else, and I just did not want to fail one more time. I didn't. And that's why I did all this research. And I can look you right in the eyes, and I've got thousands of other people that would look you in the eyes and say, hey, even if you failed at everything else, you're not going to fail at this. Because this is pure science. It's simple, it's scientific, it's safe, and it's sustainable. Hey, you can really do this. Let me share with you a few pictures of some folks, and I'll tell you their story while I'm sharing these with you. David will pop these up on the screen while we're talking. This gentleman right here, this is Phil Paget. And Phil is an executive. He's an IT executive, and his company had a great health and wellness program. But no matter what Phil did in the health and wellness program, nothing ever changed. Everything stayed the same. And they had a very intense test they put everybody through. And if you were bad, if you had bad cholesterol, it had a black bar. If you had bad blood pressure, it had a black bar. Bad triglycerides, it had a black bar. Phil had all black bars on his test. So he decided, you know what do I got to lose? I know they got a money back guarantee. I'm going to do that John Jubilee Transformation Experience program. So Phil signs up, he gets rolling. He had just had his executive assessment with all black bars. He finishes his assessment, he goes and gets a new one. After his 88 days, he said, I want to get one and see if this really changed anything. He went from 100% black bars, all negative, to 100% all green bars. And the green bars mean you are good to go in every area. Blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides, every single thing went black to green. And then Phil did another thing that was really smart. He said, hey, I got so much healthier so fast, I wonder if I should update my insurance. He went and updated his insurance. They lowered it by over $3,000 a year, his health insurance. The premium dropped that much from improving his health. It pays to be healthy. And hey, do you think he looks any better? It's a cool side effect, right? Phil literally says, John, I'm more muscular and leaner than I was 20 years plus ago today. Why? Because I don't just teach weight loss. Weight loss is a myth. You lose your water, you lose your muscle, you lose some fat. But in transformation, you gain water, you gain hydration, you gain lean, healthy muscle. And there's a great picture there of a guy that obviously lost his fat but gained his muscle. That's the difference. That's transforming, not just weight loss. Let's take a look at the next one there. You got David. Now this guy's a really dramatic story. Now you can see he was very large, very large. He dropped over 100 pounds of fat in 88 days. But this is Michael Summer, and it literally chokes me up to tell his story. Because not only did he have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetic, but he literally had cancer. This man was on the verge of death, and he's completely cured of everything. I had a lady come up to me one day, and she said, hey, I know who you are, and I met a guy that did your program. She said, and when he told me he lost over 100 pounds of fat, and she said, and then I remembered who he was. She said, your skin must be sagging. She said, that guy literally pulled his shirt up right in front of me, showed me his stomach, and his skin was tight as a baby. She said, so I know that's really true, that nobody has sagging skin, on the program, because that guy showed me. But listen, that's a pretty dramatic story. And you say, well, John, how could someone be cured of cancer? Because all cancer is a mutated cell. It's an unhealthy cell. So when your cells get healthy, everything gets better. If your cells are healthy, it's impossible to have cancer in a healthy cell. You can't have it. If your cells are right, your organs are right. If your pancreas is functioning the way it should, it regulates your insulin. You couldn't have diabetes if you wanted to. Hey, it's just pure science. It's just pure science. Show me the next picture, David. Oh my goodness. Now you know what? Here we go. Here's a gal right here that dropped over 100 pounds of fat. Her husband, he said, baby, I love you just like you are, but I want to buy you a gift. I'm going to buy you the John Jubilee Transformation Experience this year. And so you know what? She was like, okay, sweetheart. Well, she dropped over 100 pounds of fat, changed her life. I won't tell you how old she is, but I can tell you she's retired and on Social Security. She says, that's all I'm giving you. What's the next one, David? Now here's a beautiful couple. These guys are one of my favorites. A beautiful family, lots of great kids, and I tell you what, when these guys finished their 88 days, they came in and they brought me 3 precious gifts. These gigantic, delicious desserts. Because guess what? When you finish your transformation, you can be like me. You can eat sugar every single day, and you won't gain back a pound. Because once you get healthy and you build your house, I teach build a house, move in the house. You build your house, guess what? Your metabolism is way up there. And you can put sugar in there, and your body will just convert it to healthy glucose and glycogen for energy. You don't have to worry about gaining any fat at all. But this couple totally transformed. And they said something cool. They said, John, this is the best marriage seminar we ever took. We've never been closer. We've never been more in sync and on the same page as we are today. This has changed our life for our whole family. Thank you so much. And don't they look amazing? Those guys lost a ton of fat, gained a bunch of healthy hydration. healthy muscle and revolutionized their relationship in the process. I really encourage couples to do it together. Show me the next one, David. Hey, transformation even works for truck drivers. You know, this truck driver literally drove from Wisconsin all the way down to Indianapolis, Indiana, where I was speaking at a seminar. He said, I had to come down here and shake your hand personally. He said, I literally had a shoulder and an elbow injury that was so severe, he said, I couldn't even use that arm to drive my truck. I had to drive my truck with one arm. He said, I did every exercise you taught. I only teach 2 things twice a week, so I keep it simple. Simple, scientific, safe, sustainable. But he literally did all of his exercises in his truck. See how much fat he lost there? It's about 80 pounds of fat. But better yet, cured of all of his high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and completely cured his shoulder and his elbow, where he has full mobility and full use of it. So if you say, hey, do I have to go to a gym? Do I have to have special equipment? Hey, you could do it in a truck. You could do it in your dining room or your kitchen. What I teach, you can do anywhere. Show me the next one. Now, here's a good example of a young man. This is a young man in his 20s, Jonathan Melcher. It's my first radio producer. And Jonathan is what I call skinny fat. You know, if he was in clothes, he looked skinny as could be. He'd pull that shirt off, he looked like he swallowed a pumpkin. I said, hey, you didn't Photoshop that picture, did you? But look at him. But you know what? He gained healthy muscle. He gained healthy hydration. He lost all that skinny fat and got rid of it. So it doesn't matter if you're old or young, if you're skinny fat or if you're really fat, whatever it is. Look, when you're focusing on doing these 10 simple steps, these 10 simple technologies that I teach, you're going to get healthy. You're going to find your true genetic blueprint, what you're really supposed to look like when you do the right things. But there's a great example of a young man that literally transformed. And by the way, Jonathan will tell you, he was afraid he was going to fail. He started the program, and like 2 days in, he said, you know what? I need to quit. I don't think I can do it. And I just sat down with him and I said, Jonathan, you can do it. Stay steady. Stay with it. It's 10 simple things. Just do what you can do. Focus on what you can do. Don't worry what you can't do. And afterwards, he says one of the greatest things that he ever did, he actually came to work for me full time and transformed his life and helped me transform lives of thousands of people. Show me the next one. Yep, here's another guy. You know, I mean, I don't want to say this so nonchalant, but this is a man that, you know, see those man boobs, see that belly in the before picture, lost over 100 pounds of fat, 88 days, gained healthy hydration, gained lean muscle mass, totally transformed his life, his mentality, and obviously, cool side effect, he looks a lot better too, right? And so will you. And so do I. So do I. Hey, 10 inches in my waist, man. Show me the next one. Hey, now guess who this guy is? Yes, that's your moderator. That's the gentleman that opened up the webcast, David Baker. He literally, you know, he was the guy that didn't want to be a fat preacher, but you can see in his before picture, kind of got off track there. But guess what? Had an amazing transformation. He lost the fat, gained the muscle, energy went through the roof. You know, he just did a little mini Ironman. Yes, he did. So I don't know if he'd want to brag on himself, but I'll brag on him. I think it's amazing that he did it. And but you can see by his picture there, a picture's worth 1,000 words. He looks amazing, and he feels amazing. He is amazing. And he was so inspired, he decided to come help me change the world, starting with you. Show me the next one. Okay, now this gentleman, this guy was as skeptical as you can get. Nothing like a CPA. You get those accountant guys in there, man, they're skeptical. And I love skeptics. I say be a beautiful, beloved skeptic. I just want to encourage you this. Him and his friend, 70 and 72 years old, they both lost about 70 to 72 pounds of fat in 88 days. Now, he had a great transformation, losing all that fat, getting healthy, off his diabetes and high blood pressure, all that. But his friend is even more dramatic because he had 4 heart stents, 2 major heart surgeries. And even with all that, he lost over 70 pounds of fat in 88 days. So here's what I want to do. I want to open it up. If you have some questions you want to type in, I want to give you a few moments to ask any questions that you have directly. If there's no questions that come in, I'm going to share a couple, two more things that I learned from actual clients, from transformers. So if you have some questions, go ahead and please type those in there for David. And while you're doing that, I just want to share two things with you that I learned from transformers. The first one, now I know there's people from all over the country on this webinar, but Baptist Hospital, Nashville, Tennessee, a nursing director there, her name is Heather Britt. And Heather came into my office one day, and when I'm traveling around in different cities, I will always try to go into the office that I have in that city, and I'll meet with people. They don't know they're going to meet with me. And so it's so fun for me because realize for 10 years, all I ever did was met with people one-on-one and help people one person at a time for 10 years for free because I cared that much about people. And the only reason I got into this full time is because after 10 years of helping people for free and having hundreds of people have these very dramatic health and life changes, a gentleman in my community actually sat me down, knee to knee, toe to toe, face to face, and said, "John Jubilee, you got to go full time in health and wellness. You're going to change the world." And I looked at him and said, "You got to be kidding me. Mr. Monetize It, you're telling me to leave a 21-year, very successful career?" He said, "John, yes, you need to do it." He went on telling me stories, and I wasn't buying it, friend. I'm just being real with you. And finally he said, "John," now this guy had like 400 or 500 employees, 12 department heads. He said, "John, you meet with anyone in my company you need to. I'm giving you my staff for free. You got to go do this. You're going to change the world." Well, now he's putting his money where his mouth is, right? And this is a very well-known, very successful guy, Dave Ramsey. And Dave Ramsey said, "John, you got to go do this." And he did. And I got to give him all the credit in the world, man. That guy literally for free gave me his department heads to meet with and develop a business plan so that I could come full time. And that's what pushed me over the edge to go full time in health and wellness, was that meeting with Dave Ramsey that day in his office, and then him giving me his staff for free. That's a pretty big gift. So I'm very thankful to him for that. But by doing all that, and then one day I end up sitting in front of the nursing director of Baptist Hospital, and she says, "Sign me up. It's not going to work for me." And I said, "Man, sister, what are you doing here?" She said, "I lost a bet with my stupid brother." I said, "Well, what was the bet?" She goes, "Well, we both been 100 pounds overweight since high school. And the bet was that one of us ever lost it, the other one has to go do it." And now she starts making fun of me. She goes, "And my brother lost 104 pounds of fat in 88 days doing the 10 technologies, John Jubilee." I said, "Wait a minute. Your brother lost 104 pounds of fat in 88 days?" I said, "Doesn't that give you just a little bit of confidence that maybe this might work for you, Heather?" She goes, "No, I'm Heather Britt. I'm the nursing director of Baptist Hospital, 5,000 employees." She goes, "Nothing works for me." I said, "Well, with all due respect, Heather, you haven't tried this." She goes, "I'm not done yet." She goes, "You don't understand. I've been 100 pounds overweight since high school." She goes, "And I went into nursing to try to see how to get healthy and how to lose this fat." She said, "And to battle my multiple sclerosis." She said, "No, I tried everything medical science has to offer. Nothing works for me." I said, "Now, Heather." She goes, "I'm not done yet." She said, "Then," she goes, "I spent tens of thousands of dollars on weight loss." Now I was skeptical. I said, "How do you spend that much money on weight loss?" She said, "Jenny Cream, Weight Watchers, MetaFast, Nutrisystem, HCG 5 times. I mean, she literally named tens of thousands of dollars of weight loss. I said, "Well, Heather, guess what?" I said, "If you're from this planet, the planet Earth, you're an Earthling, this works really good for Earthlings." She goes, "Well, I know you got a money-back guarantee. If I do exactly what you say, how you say, when you say, and it doesn't work, I'm getting my money back, and I know I'm going to get my money back." I said, okay, sister, we'll see. Well, guess what happened? Heather Britt lost 106 pounds of fat and non-symptomatic for multiple sclerosis. Around the country, they shoot these television specials. And they were shooting a television special on some of my transformers from Nashville, Tennessee. And I was so excited when I saw Heather was on the list, that she was going to be in studio for this program. And here she comes, stomping on that set. She's got that scowl on her face. And I said, Heather, what's wrong? She goes, are you serious? She goes, John Jubilee, I'd rather be beaten by 5 men in the parking lot than be on television. I said, well, what'd you show up for? She goes, I'll do anything for you now. Well, Heather Britt not only lost her fat, non-symptomatic, according to her neurologist, for multiple sclerosis, non-symptomatic. Heather went to a family get-together. Her father saw her. He wept like a baby. He held her in his arms, and he said, baby, please forgive Daddy for telling you all those years you were just a big girl. You're just a big girl. I had no idea this was your real size. 47 years old, Heather Britt bought her first bikini. Got her first boyfriend, too. You know what? Her life has changed forever. So I invite you to be skeptical. I invite you to be as skeptical as you want to be. But please take a step for yourself. Because what have you got to lose? Nothing. Every single person that signs up to do my program, I give you a guarantee. I'm a GPS. I'm going to tell you when to turn right, when to turn left. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you simple things to do that a kindergartner could do. Anybody that can count to 10 can do it. And if you'll do what I share and it doesn't work, I'm just going to give you back your money. Just that simple. So look, if it works, is it worth it? Of course it is, right? Of course it is. There's only 3 priceless things in the world, and you and your health are 2 of them. You and your health are 2 of the 3 priceless things in the world. So we'll be friends. If it doesn't work and I give you back your money, will we be friends? Of course we will. Because you're going to know I was not trying to take your money. I'm trying to help you get healthy at a cellular level. And I'm going to tell you one last story. New York City fireman comes in one day, and again, I got to meet with this guy in person. He said, man, I heard great things about you, great things about your program. I'd love to do it. He said, but man, I cannot exercise for a minute. There's no way I can do it. And I said, wait, you can do it. He said, did you hear what I said? I said I can't exercise for a minute. I said, brother, there's no running, there's no sit-ups, there's no heavy breathing. You can do this. He said, no way. I said, way, you can do it. He said, John, if I ran from here to the back of the room, I'd die of bronchial airways disease, of an asthmatic attack. I said, did you hear what I said? There's no running, there's no heavy breathing, there's no sit-ups. You're not going to run from here to the back of the room. I'm going to show you something easier than that to do. I finally convinced him he can do it. He said, okay, how much does it cost? I told him how much it cost. He sat there for 3 minutes. Your screen is not frozen. I'm simulating 3 minutes. It's a long time. Isn't that awkward? It was so awkward. And I'm taught to be polite, wait till somebody responds before I say anything. And so I'm waiting, and finally he goes, I'm doing it. He signs up. 88 days later, he comes bounding into the office. And did I mention he's from New York City? Does anyone out there know anyone from New York City? Does anyone know anyone quiet from New York City? Well, neither was this guy. He comes in, John Jubilee, oh my gosh. He goes, this changed my life. He goes, I lost 81 pounds of fat in 88 days. He's flexing his muscles. I gained 14 pounds of solid muscle. I lost 14 inches in my waist. He goes, this changed my life. He goes, but can I tell you what I was thinking when you told me how much this cost? I said, please tell me what you were thinking. Are you kidding me? You had an out-of-body experience for 3 minutes. Where'd you go? What were you thinking? He goes, John, honest to God, my first thought was, that's too expensive. I'm not spending that money on myself. He goes, but my very next thought was, Man, I live in a brick house, and I just paid some guys $3,200 to paint the trim on my house. 4 months ago, wife's transmission went out. They called me, hey, Tom, Lisa's transmission's out, $3,500. He goes, I spent it in a second on the car. 6 months before that, we went to Disney World, spent $5,000. 6 months before that, heating and air went out, spent $5,400. He goes, John, I started going through this inventory of one thing after another that we spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on. He goes, I thought about when I went in the hospital, how much I spent for one night in the hospital. He goes, and all of a sudden, he goes, I thought, man, $3,000 for me, for my health, I'm doing this. And when he said that, my light bulb went off of, oh my word, that's how we think. We devalue ourselves. We devalue our health. And then I thought about what he said about one night in the hospital. And, you know, I thought about, you know, a man, literally, he's laying in a hospital. He's just had a stroke. He's 54 years old. Half of his body won't move. His lips are hanging down like this, and his eye is down like this, and half his body won't move, and he's laying there. And they're talking to him about how long he'll be in the hospital and how long, if he can rehab, it's going to take for him to get his motor skills back. And I'm wondering, how much would that guy be willing to spend to not be in that situation? How much? Then I think about a guy like Steve Jobs. Remember that guy, Apple Computer? That guy had over 7 billion. Everybody thinks the Powerball was a big deal because it was 1.5 billion. That guy had 5 times that much money in the bank. And he died after only half a lifetime. Because you can't buy your health. You could win $1 billion on the Powerball. You can't buy your health. Your health is priceless. So I'm going to encourage you. Hey, for $3,000, you can change your life, change your health. You're worth it. Your health is worth it. It's the only 2 priceless things on the planet. And look here, I'm going to be with you for a lifetime. This is a lifetime program. You sign up one time, you're with me for the rest of your life. And I mean for real. And now with technology, I'm telling you what, I'm going to show up every single day of your life. In your phone, in your iPad, or in your computer. I'm going to be right there. I'm going to walk you every step of the way. And I'm going to teach you things that are simple, scientific, and sustainable. I'm going to give you 3 simple things that you're going to start on. Girls, you can expect 4 pounds of fat is the size of a loaf of bread. So I'm going to tell you what, you're going to lose a loaf of bread, of fat, every single week. Every week, you're going to lose a loaf of bread every week. Men, guess what? Yep, you're going to lose probably closer to 2 loaves of bread every week. Every week. These results are typical. Don't you hate those commercials where they say these results are not typical? Hey, these results are typical. Side effects, you might need a new wardrobe. You might not be able to take that afternoon nap anymore because your energy is going to be too high, like one of my clients that gained 15 pounds of lean, solid muscle in his 60s, leaner and more muscular than he's ever been in his whole life. These are natural side effects that you can expect are going to happen because they happen to people. So look, invest in yourself. There's nothing more priceless than you. I'm going to let David come and share with you how you can get started today. But you start today, I'm going to give you 3 things immediately that you're going to get started on. Then I'm going to be with you every day. 2 weeks, I'm going to share the full 10 things, the 10 technologies. But I'm going to walk you step by step, going to make it simple, scientific, safe, and sustainable. You really can do this, and you can do it for your whole life. You're going to be in a new family, thousands of other people that have gone forth before you, and every single person has succeeded, and so will you.
All right. Hey, that's great. I'm so excited. No questions, so that's great. John does a great job explaining it, and when you do it, you're going to love this thing. So by the way, look, I've been doing this for 2 years and been in meetings with John and talk with people. And honestly, and I told John, everyone who hears this, literally, I've never talked to anyone, I've never been in a meeting with anyone where they didn't want to do the program. Now, people are skeptical, and that's fine. We understand that. By the way, Nancy asked about special exercise equipment. Absolutely not. John, you want to comment on that? Special exercise equipment, what do you need?
That's right. You know what you need is you. You know, you are a weight. And I'm going to teach you how to use yourself. I'll teach you how to do an exercise you could do sitting in your chair in your kitchen or in your kitchen, but you don't need any exercise equipment whatsoever.
Awesome. Great question, Nancy. Yes, we had a lady in a wheelchair lose 37 inches in a wheelchair. So absolutely. So you need nothing. And so we found out everyone wants to do this program. It's just the finances. By the way, John did this for free for 10 years. Like I said, you don't get any more pure than that. What he found out was that most people he would give it to free. He printed up his information, had it in a 3-ring binder, would give it to people. But most people, because it's free, quote, they wouldn't do it. It must not be worth anything. Everyone who did it had a great transformation. Once they started charging for it, and people did it because now they see the value in it, and it changes their life. And so, some great things. John, I'm going to mute you with the background sound. Okay, got it. So what we figured is a way to fix a financial issue. So here's what we've done. If you can pay up front, then we're going to go ahead and knock. By the way, there's a $10,000 transformation for CEOs and celebrities, and John charges them that. They really do. Same program, but he realized they needed that financial commitment to keep them faithful to it. I know of 2 billionaires that have gone through John's program. He charged them $10,000 because that was enough to keep them faithful. For the normal price is $5,000. For webinars and when John meets people individually, it's $3,000. If you can pay up front, that way we don't have to pay someone to collect it and all the accounting of it. We don't charge interest or finance charge or anything. If you can pay up front, credit card, check, however you want to, then John will knock another $500 off, and it's only $2,500. Okay, and so we just started doing that, by the way. So that's been a great help. If you can't do that, but you can make a $1,000 down payment and $1,000 and $1,000, that gets you done before your 88 days, and that's $3,000. If you can't do that, we still want to make it possible that anyone can do this, and so we'll set up payments for you. We have to pay someone to collect that, and so that's $3,500. You can pay $500 down and $200 a month, and then you can still get started. I have had people that said, I don't have $500, I'll be back in 2 weeks, and they'll save $500 and come back. I had a man one time that was permanently disabled, had no extra income, didn't know what he was going to do. He went to his family and told them about it, and his kids said, Dad, we love you. We want you to be around. Dad, we're going to pay this for you. And they paid for his transformation. And so it was great. He then got to do the program, and so that was a help. So those are the 3 prices: $2,500 up front, $3,000 if you pay $1,000, $1,000, and then $3,500 if you pay $500 down, and then $200 a month. How do you get started? Very simple. We have 2 documents. One is a non-disclosure. You're paying good money for this program. It's not fair to you and other people just to give it away. So we have you sign a non-disclosure, and basically it says that you're not going to give away or sell John's intellectual property. Okay, and then so we'll have you sign that. It's an electronic document. I'll email it to you. Email it back, and then there's a we call it an intake form. Basically, you intake all your information: name, address, phone number, email, financial information, and all that. We get those 2 documents to you. You get them back. Then we send you the 2 books in the mail. One's a manual, and one's a workbook. Then we get you started on daily videos. You're going to get a daily video from John to be able to teach, help, motivate you through your full program. We'll also get you access to the members-only side of the website where there's all kinds of exercise videos and teaching videos and everything that you need. We also, if you saw the ladies down there, we have some ladies that work with us that do customer service and teaching, helping, anything that you need. We have health coaches that can answer any questions that you have. And we just added this because we realized trying to go into every city is just so hard to do. We're never going to reach everyone that way. And so we're making it nationwide where we can do where you can do this program no matter where you are through webinar, through this technology. And so you can sign up here, and then every week on Tuesday night right now, John does a question and answer webinar. you have a question about your health, what you're going through, then John will stay on and answer any question that you have. And so you're going to get the best health coach in America teaching every week. So I can't make it on Tuesday night. No problem. Email us your questions. We'll ask John. It records it, register for the webinar, and it will send you the replay, and you can watch it whenever you want, okay? So you don't even have to be on here live. It turns it into a YouTube video, and then you've got it for yourself, okay? And so that's how that works. Now, let me tell you the other part of the finances. I'm a pastor. Pastor is not the highest pay bracket, and I have 11 children, so this was a big deal to me. And so what we've instituted, we realized that we were paying literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to radio and TV for advertising, and when we looked at our numbers, we realized most people joining the program were brought by friends and family telling them about it. So we said, forget paying radio and TV, let's pay the people, the clients who are inviting their friends and family. So we've set up a great sharing program, not selling, just sharing it. You're a walking billboard. I don't know how many people said, hey, what are you doing? You look great. Well, let me tell you about it. And so if you share this program, and all you have to do is send them a website, they can watch the videos, register for this, and sign up. Anyone who signs up, we're going to give you 10% of what they pay down payment. So if they pay the $2,500, we're going to send you $250. You have 4 people that sign up, that's $1,000. Now, for most people, hey, that's a nice little help bonus. And my goal, our goal, is that we can give you more money back financially than what you ever paid into the program. Okay? And by the way, that's what's happened to me. John let me do this right away. He knew where I was coming from. He let me share this. Before I finished my 88-day program, I already made more money than what the program costs, okay? And before I got done paying for the programs, I paid monthly payments. Before I got done paying for the program, I'd already made over $30,000 just sharing this, just talking to people about it. We don't sell. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I couldn't be a hard pressure salesman. I don't care for that. But we shared. If you want to do it, great. If not, that's fine. And so that's what we have set up for you, and we want to do it. So all you have to do is email me, and I'll get you started. It's David@JohnJubilee.com. I'll type it in the side over here, David@JohnJubilee, JUBILEE.com. And you email me, and we will get you started right away. And if you have any questions, we'll answer those. We'll do a phone consult with you to be able to answer all your questions and get you started on those 3 things in your videos. Now, we do have some questions. And, John, anything you want to clarify or cover that I didn't, I'm going to unmute you, hopefully. All right. John, I think you have to unmute it yourself. So if you would, on your phone there, and then let me see. There was some background noise, so I had muted that. There it goes. I can hear you, John. Good. So had a few questions. So Tamla answers also. No extra things are used. Liz said, testimony, I paid $2,500. I'm on week 6. I've lost 13 pounds on this program. I love it. I have so much energy. My goal is to come off my high blood pressure medicine. Thank you, Liz. Great testimony. By the way, we don't pay people to come on and say this. We didn't even know regular clients will be here. Nancy says, how do I know where I currently stand as far as my weight, hydration, and muscle? Great question, Nancy.
Well, what happens is we will literally teach you. I'll have an actual video that takes you through that teaches you how to be your best doctor, your best coach, and I'm going to teach you how to measure every day yourself, what your hydration level is, what your bone density is, what your muscle mass is, what your weight is, so that you will learn, part of what I teach is a cellular health index, how healthy are those cells. So I want you to learn, how to get healthy at a cellular level from the inside out. So part of this program is within the first 2 weeks, I'm going to walk you through and I'm going to show you how to do that. You're your best doctor. You are your best personal trainer. You don't know it yet, but I'm going to train you to be that for yourself for the rest of your life.
Awesome. Nancy says also, once I'm in the program, how do we know what we lost in fat and gained in muscle and gained in hydration?
Yeah, great question. And again, what's going to happen is every 4 weeks, now I really don't want you to get on that scale every day. I want you to just stay focused on the 3 things and then on the 10 things. And then every 4 weeks, you're going to get on that you're going to get on a special scale, which I'm going to teach you about that. And you're going to measure, and you're going to weigh, and you're going to know exactly. We have a calculation for you, and you can get on the phone with one of our coaches the day that you do it, and our coach will walk you through. And literally, it'll just take you one time. Once you do it the first time with one of our coaches, you'll realize I lost this many inches, I lost this much fat, I gained this much hydration, I gained this much muscle.
Yes, it's very measurable, and it's exciting to be able to see and know that. So that is great. Any other questions you have, type them in. And like I said, to get started, just email us, david@johnjubilee.com. We'll send you the 2 documents, send them back, and we'll get you started. If you have a question, let us know. You can go to johnjubilee.com, johnjubilee.com, and there's phone number there. You can have questions, call into the ladies, and anything we can do to help you, we want to. We're so excited to help you get started. John, anything you want to close with?
Yeah, I just want to say that, you know, this is truly a simple, a scientific, a sustainable lifestyle. You can really do this for the rest of your life. Look, I'm sitting here 18 years later. I didn't do this 3 months ago. I didn't do it 3 years ago. 18 years later, I can tell you it's the joy of my life. I sleep like a baby. My energy level is through the roof. I'm lean and healthy. I haven't been sick for 18 years, not one single day. That's amazing, right? I mean, think how much money I've saved on doctor visits, on prescriptions, on taking a day off work because of a medical reason. That is priceless. I'm just being for real with you. That's priceless. And that's why I'm so passionate to share this with the world. I mean, for real. Because I know what I have is real. What I'm sharing with you tonight, it changed my life forever. I've seen it change thousands of other people's lives. I've had total strangers walk up to me in public and just hold me and begin to cry and thank me, and say, man, my only regret is I didn't find you sooner. So the great thing is look, I promise you, and I put my money where my mouth is, I promise you won't be disappointed. I promise this will be life-changing, and I promise I'm going to be here with you and for you for a lifetime.
All right. That's great. If you have a question, let us know, and thank you so much for being here. Good night.
Okay. All right. Thank you.